Hey everyone, how's it going? This is EJAwesomo or Ethan, and this is going to be another review and analysis for Lucha Underground. This was the July 26th episode of Lucha Underground, Season 3, Episode 28, entitled Booyaka Booyaka. First of all, I'd like to apologize for lateness again. This weekend, my youth council that I'm a part of was running an event. We run events for the youth, to make entertainment and to help people have a good time. So we had one of those events this weekend, and thus I did not get to watch Lucha Underground until just before Sunday for me, Saturday for the Americas and the Western world. Rightio, let's get right into the show. I was looking forward to watching this. Looking forward to doing a review and analysis of this. I mean, even if not many people watch it, I love getting to express my love for wrestling, and I love getting to talk to it about. I love talking about it to 15, 20 people, even if it's just that much. So anyway, the show starts off as usual with a review of previous events. This week it was of the Cueto Cup, Drago's betrayal and allegiance to Cobra Moon, Johnny Mundo facing off with Rey Mysterio in 4 weeks' time, and Son of Havoc versus Son of Madness, and of course PJ Black for Mysterio versus this week. Moving on to the start of the show, it starts off inside the temple with a live performance once again from El Conjunto Nueva Ola, finishing up. I totally botched that name again, I apologize for this. Matt Striker and Vampiro welcome us to this week's episode. Striker and Vampiro talk about the matches of tonight being two matches from the second round of the Cueto Cup, being Drago vs Pentagon Dark and The Mac vs Tejano, and there was also PJ Black vs Rey Mysterio. Vampiro hands it over to Melissa Santos. The first match is here, and Melissa Santos introduces the first competitor in the ring, being The Mac. He defeated the one-third of the Rabbit Tribe, Mala Suerte, to advance this far. Into the second, Tejano, who is also in the ring, he defeated Famous B to advance to this round. The match starts seconds later with two shaking hands. They lock off to... Excuse me, I'm not good at speaking, am I? They lock up to start off, and after some athletic chain wrestling, the Mac takes control in the early stages of the match. These two, of course, are known for their surprising agility and athleticism, despite their, let's say, larger statures. The two shake hands again as a show of mutual respect, and then lock up again. The crowd are super into this match, and of course are giving full support to both men, although they seem to be giving a little bit more so into favour of the ever-popular The Mac. The two end up taking the match to the outside, where the Mac hits the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. This ends up getting the outside count to a very close 9. Taking it back into the ring, Famous B ends up inside the ring, seemingly there to help out Tejano, him of course is trying to recruit. Hilariously, he shoots the Mac with a water gun and eats a stunner from the Mac as a result. However, moments later, Tejano takes advantage of distraction and hits the Mac with a brutal powerbomb for the victory. I think these two had some great chemistry, and it was, of course, a hard-hitting battle, and it definitely went quite well. Tejano advances to the quarterfinals, where he will face off against the winner of Drago vs Pentagon Dark. The show goes through its first commercial, and upon its return, we agreed with Son of Havoc sitting alone in the bar. That is, until Son of Madness walks up and steals his drink. Havoc states that he won't go back, not after what happened, leading to some more talking, and Madness responds with a threat, saying that he turned his back on the club. Havoc and Madness exchange some more words, and Madness leaves, leaving Havoc to take out his frustrations on a beer glass and on a bar stool. This feud is quite interesting. It seems as if Son of Havoc has abandoned and betrayed his biker gang, his biker club. The name was thrown in there, but I could not pick it up. It sounded like the Invisible something, perhaps. I'm not too sure. Hopefully we find out in the later weeks. Of course, upon these two were talking, they were just kind of putting each other in armbars and holding each other to the ground. Quite interesting. But moving on, we are then greeted backstage once again by the Rabbit Tribe, whom are playing checkers on the checkered member, whom I'm pretty sure is Saltador. That might be wrong. It might be Malsuerta, but I think it's Saltador. Masquerita Sagrada enters and drops a giant gift on the table, and then he leaves right after. They open the gift and find a rabbit's foot inside, to which they scream. This segment was all the right amount of hilarity, and of course, it gave us a much better look at the wacky members of the Rabbit Tribe. We don't get to see the wackiness and the interestingness that often. Next up, the next match starts. The first competitor is introduced. 1/3 of the Lucha Underground Trios champions, Drago. He is accompanied by Cobra Moon as always. He defeated Aerostar in the first round of the Creator Cup to advance to here. Introduced second, the ever popular and my favourite wrestler, Pentagon Dark, whom defeated Argenis in the first round to advance. After a Cerro Miedo to the camera, commercial hits, and upon its return, this first time ever match starts. The match starts with the two having a wonderful, fast-paced chain wrestling. The crowd is very much so behind Pentagon as is the usual. Pentagon gets sent to the outside, and Drago hits a beautiful corkscrew suicide dive. Taking it back into the ring, Drago continues to assault, with the two having some great back and forth action. Drago gets a few close wins after a series of roll-ups and victory roll-style maneuvers. Pentagon goes for a Pentagon driver, but is reversed by an arm drag. He then hits a blockbuster for a close 2 count. Vampiro comments on the lack of a leg hook, and the crowd continues to chant Cerro Miedo. Moments later, however, Pentagon reverses an arm drag and hits the Pentagon driver for yet another 2 count. The match continues, and the two have some back and forth action, each participant hitting some big moves within the match. What's his name? There it is. With Drago hitting a big Frankensteiner from the top rope, followed up by a beautiful splash. Then after that, Pentagon hitting a Mexican Destroyer, which Matt Striker called the Pentagon Destroyer, which was cool, I suppose. Moving on, the finish comes when Pentagon knocks Drago down from the top rope, picking him up and hitting him with the package piledriver for a 3 count. Right after match, Pentagon goes to break Drago's arm, as he does after all of his matches, but however is stopped by Aerostar, the man that Drago betrayed. Aerostar tries to shake Drago's hand, but Drago effectively tells him to fuck off and attacks him. Determined to break an arm as always, Pentagon then mercilessly breaks Aerostar's arm instead. Pentagon moves on to the quarterfinals, where he will face off against Tejano. Commercial hits once again, and upon the show's return, we are backstage with Pentagon Dark being confronted by Katrina, who threatens him, telling him that Mil Muertes never forgets his enemies, and that Mil Muertes will end his quest for the Cueto Cup. Moving on from this, we are then greeted in the ring by Melissa Santos, whom introduced the first competitor of our main event, the Darewolf PJ Black, a member of the Worldwide Underground. His opponent is then introduced being the #1 contender for the Lucha Underground Championship, the legend himself, Rey Mysterio Jr. Final commercial hits, and upon its return, the match starts. Mysterio is of course facing off against Johnny Mundo for the Lucha Underground Championship at the finale of the Cueto Cup. The match starts with some agile back and forth action from the two, just as you would expect from PJ Black and Rey Mysterio. This continues for a good few minutes until Black is sent out of the ring by Mysterio. Black then takes control with what looked like a torture rack into a slam of some sort. Sort of the same thing that Nikki Bella does as her finish nowadays. Moving back into the ring, the Darewolf PJ Black continues to hold his control, locking Mysterio into some submission holds. Mysterio then rallies and throws Black into the 619 position, which he reverses the legendary move with a brutal superkick to the face. The two continue to have some back and forth action, which is, as always, very athletic. PJ Black hits a hanging double foot stomp that gets him a 2 count there. It was sort of the same thing that Alberto Del Rio did in his second run with the WWE as his finisher. After Mysterio tries to get in some offense, Black reverses a top rope Frankensteiner and then hits him with a Starry Clash for another close 2 count. Moments later, Mysterio then hits Black with a spinning DDT, knocking out the referee Marty Elias in the process. Johnny Mundo slides into the ring and assaults Mysterio, and then helps up his partner in crime PJ Black. The two doubles team Mysterio until Jack Evans, the third member of the Worldwide Underground, comes out to help with the assault. El Dragon Azteca Jr. comes out to even the odds, but is then met by Taya Valkyrie, the final member of the Worldwide Underground. Mundo drags Black's lifeless body onto Rey Mysterio. Marty Elias starts to count, and the audience is shocked when Mysterio kicks out too. Dragon Azteca Jr. grabs a chair and chases off the Wild Ride Underground, leaving the match to continue. Black tries to then hit a Razor's Edge, but gets countered with a Hurricane Rana into a 619, which gave Rey Mysterio the victory. I think the match was very good. It was very fast-paced and athletic, as always. And Mysterio then grabs the microphone and calls out Johnny Mundo, telling him that he can't run forever, and that in just 4 weeks' time, he will meet him for the Lucha Underground Championship. Telling him that he will meet a 619 and lose the championship, making history not only for himself, but for the people inside the temple, the believers that support Rey Mysterio. Right after that, the show ends with the credits hitting. The show was very good, as Lucha Underground always is. It had some wonderful matches. My personal match of the night, I'm gonna have to say, was probably Pentagon Dark facing off against Drago. Pentagon Dark, now of course known as Penta El Zero M, is actually my favourite wrestler. That is not why it was the favourite match of the night. It just so happens that I thought the match was great. It was very back and forth, it was very athletic, it was always fast paced, never letting down really. Now moving on to some other stuff. I'm enjoying doing these Lucha Underground reviews very much so. I know that this is a small channel. I have 95 subscribers. My last video got, what, maybe 15, 16 views. To me that doesn't matter. To me, I love professional wrestling, and over here in New Zealand, not a lot of people are really into it, especially not where I'm around. And it really sucks for me, because I don't get to talk about it, I don't get to share my passion with the world. This right here, just 15 people, I get to share my passion with. 15 people, I get to talk about everything that I love. And I thank you so much for watching this. I thank you so much for watching all my videos, all my content, and of course leaving me criticism and feedback in the comments. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. If you didn't watch the episode, there was your analysis, there was your review. Definitely go and watch it, because I think Lucha Underground is wonderful. It's very unfortunate that it airs in the El Rey Network, as the El Rey Network just isn't that big. I think it's only America, maybe Mexico too. And that sucks, especially from me living overseas. I have to stream it, and if I could show more support, then I would. I don't have much money either. I can't buy that much merchandise. I do try to, and I'm currently looking at getting a Pentagon Jr. shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees. That would be wonderful. I'd love that. Definitely go and show your support to Lucha Underground, guys. They're all on Twitter. They're all on, some of them on Facebook. Tweet out LA Network, tweet out Famous B, tweet out Pentagon Jr. Tweet out all of them. Tell them your support. Tell them that you love them. Leave them feedback, you know. I'm going to ask you right now to do the same thing for me. You know, whether you're liking this video or you're disliking this video, it's completely up to you. I'm not one of those guys. I say this every time, but I really am not one of those guys that gives a fuck about likes that much. I mean, I'm not going to be like, next video comes out only when I get 500 likes. No, that's fucking stupid. That's stupid in everything. I don't understand why YouTubers are obsessed with it. What I'm asking you guys to do is leave your honest opinion. Leave your honest feedback. If you liked this video, if you enjoyed my commentary and my review and my analysis, go ahead and leave a like. Leave some good feedback in the comments. If you didn't like it, if you think you find a way, if you think you know a way I can improve, maybe leave a dislike. Leave some constructive criticism in the comments, and you know, whether you PM me, whether you comment it, it helps tremendously. I had a few people in person come up to me and say like, hey, how's it going? Good video and all. Here's some stuff that you can do to improve. Now, I know I'm not the best talker. In fact, I've stuttered a lot in this video. I'm stuttering right now. I apologize for this, but I love talking about wrestling, and I'm not going to stop doing this. So, whether you like me or you don't like me, tell me. Just tell me. If you want to hear more about wrestling, if you want to watch more of my content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Of course, you don't have to. I'm not going to force you to. It's completely up to you. I appreciate it so much, especially if, you know, those 15 people watching this right now, 15 people I get to talk about wrestling with, that could be 16 people, that could be 17 people, that could be 100,000 people sometime in the future. I don't know. All I want is to talk about wrestling with people. All I want is to love the industry and love the sport. And if you share my passion for the industry, subscribe to me. If you don't subscribe to me. It's really up to you. Again, Lucha Underground this week was amazing. As always, next week I'll be doing another review. Hopefully I won't be late next time. I apologize utmost if I am. It's getting quite long now, almost 16 minutes, so I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks very much for watching. Leave a like, a dislike, constructive criticism, feedback, all that. I really support it. I really appreciate it, and I can't thank you enough for any of it. I'll see you guys later. I hope you have a great day. Hope you like my Legend of Zelda shirt, and I'll catch you later.